Hey, y'all, welcome to Late Night with Bridget and Holly. I'm your host, Bridget.
And I'm your host, Holly.
And y'all, tonight we're going to talk, and some of you are not going to be able to relate to this, and it's okay, but we're just wanting to give you some insight. We're going to talk about a little bit of the life of in the life of an influencer, okay? But before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell here on YouTube, and you can subscribe to us on any of your favorite podcast channels. If we're not on one, hit us up at bridgetandholly@gmail.com, and we'll definitely make sure that we're there. But Holly, how's your day been today?
Girl, this time change has fucked with me so much. Like, right now, I feel like it should only just be like 9 o'clock. And we damn near, 30 minutes away from being at 11.
Yeah.
But I like when it gets darker early. Now, in the summertime, I do like that it gets darker later because of the pool. But I'm a girl who hates the time change. I love when it gets dark at like 5:30. But that's just me. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. What about you?
And y'all, yeah, I've had a good day. It don't bother me as bad though, and I love when it gets. I love the longer days when it gets dark later. But y'all remember that we pre-record these podcasts, so we're recording this on the Spring Forward Day when when technically y'all are not going to be hearing this till sometime in April. So
yeah, y'all might, wait, what are they talking about?
They're going to be like, the time changed several months ago. What's they talking about? So
Before
that's
we
where that comes
get started, though, I'm so curious. What does your shirt say? Mixed with
love.
Oh, y'all, she wears the cutest fucking shirt. She's always got something cute on. A lot of times I'm always in black. I wear a lot of black. I don't know. I just think it's more just, I don't know. I mean, I do have my bold moments and my colorful shirts, but she always wears the cutest fucking shirts.
Oh,
that
this is
adorable.
Actually a pajama shirt. It's a pajama outfit, but it's called Mixed with Love.
Well, I am in my nightgown. I will say that, y'all. So I'm in my comfortable nightgown, which a lot of times me and Bridget are in our night clothes because it's late night. It's late night podcast.
That was the whole premise of this, is that we could do it in our pajamas. Okay, so y'all, to talk about life as a social media influencer, we've touched base on this before, and we've talked about certain aspects of it, but we also wanted to hit on some more aspects of it. I remember there was a situation years ago that came up when Michaela, y'all know the makeup girl, I can't say her last name, Naguara.
I don't know how to say it either.
Y'all know who we talking about, okay?
Yeah.
Anyhow,
she pops the kind of Harvard.
Yeah, but she had said, well, she was like, when I was younger, I had some bullies. Now that I've gotten famous, they've tried to reach out to me and talk to me like nothing ever happened. And I'm like, I wonder how I would handle that. So what would you do, Holly? I mean, we've all had bullies. Everybody's had bullies. Okay.
Right.
So now you've got 900 and some thousand followers. You got somebody that bullied you at school, and they're going to see you in public or reach out to you on social media and be like, hey girl, how you doing? And act like nothing ever happened. How are you handling that?
Now I ain't gonna lie, not trying to like come off as though I was perfect in school, but I don't know if it was just my error or not, but I really honestly didn't get bullied in school. I was never bullied. Now, there was this one guy, and I will say his name was Franklin. And he and I would go back and forth and stuff like that. But I don't know if you call him a bully, because as much as he dished it out, I dished it out. His nickname was Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog was his nickname because he had big old bug eyes. But I never really was bullied in school, but if I had to deal with it, and it was somebody who did do that to me in school, or just in life in general, and approached me because, they're like, oh, you're TikTok famous or you're social media famous, I don't think I'd give them the time of the day, because like, you treated me like shit in school, and just because we went to school together, you're going to make it out like, oh, I know her. Let me tell you about my best friend. She's my famous best friend. No, you treated me like that in school. Don't come at me, 30 years later, because I blew up on social media and you want to try and get a piece of it.
Yeah. Well, right. And see, now I was bullied in school, but it was more middle school. Before I felt my voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, let a motherfucker try that now,
Oh, they a goner.
Yeah, and I have had it was before I was on social media, but it was when I just joined Facebook, you know what I'm saying, just as a user on Facebook.
Right.
And I had a couple of my bullies reach out to me. Like I added them. I went ahead and added them because I'm thinking, well, we're older now. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna let bygones be bygones. But we ain't gonna be best friends either. And
Yeah.
so one of them reached out to me and they was like, oh, they were laughing. Do you remember when we used to da da da? And I was like, yeah, that shit ain't funny. And I guarantee you,
That
I
shit
wouldn't do that
ain't
now.
funny.
Yeah, I said it straight. But my thing is, if I'd be like Michaela and be that famous, and then one of them reached out to me like, "Hey, girl," I'd be like, "The fuck you want?"
Get the stepping,
Because
bitch.
yeah, I don't think bullies realize how much of an impact, And I'd like to say that there may be some out there that thinks I was their bully. You know what I'm saying? Which
I don't believe that with you.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. But now, wait a minute.
No.
I did have a bitch era in school, and I did go through a bitch era in high
Yeah,
school.
but being a bitch and a bully is two different things.
Right? Yeah,
You
yeah.
would never bully somebody.
I don't think I did. But if I did, and you see this, reach out to me and let me know so I can make an apology, a correct apology.
Oh,
Yeah, because I would hate to think that I was that person to somebody.
no, you ain't gonna have
But
nobody reach out.
I got an email coming in right now. Hang on, I'm just
Oh God,
I'm
bitch! You
just
remember in the fifth grade?
yeah, that's right. But okay, so that's that aspect of it. So now let me ask you something else. Do you ever like when you're posting? For me, when I post online, I
Uh
really just feel like I'm talking to myself. I don't necessarily think that when I post this, I'm posting it for 700,000 followers. I don't
more than that,
necessarily
honey.
Right. I don't necessarily think that my family and friends are going to see this. I'm just posting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then what happens when I go out and I sit down with my family and friends or we go eat with somebody and they're like, girl, when you said blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember when I said that. Like, I'm always like, I'm almost like cringe. Do you ever do that?
I do because excuse me. Like when I first started recording, I would be so nervous. I would have to make sure everything was perfect from makeup to clothes to all of that. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, let me just record.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I started blowing up on TikTok and people started noticing me, I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. It would make me shy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you know where I work at. I'm not really a shy person, but when it comes to stuff like that, which I'm not anymore now, so being on social media has really brought me out of my shy shell and
Okay.
stuff like that. But in the beginning, it was very awkward and weird because I wouldn't know what to say. All these people are paying me attention and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, I love you. I love you. I love you. You're so funny. And it's great compliments. And I do love to hear it. And I appreciate everybody who says it. But I don't know how to respond to it because I don't want to come off and sound like I'm conceited
Mm-hmm.
or that I am famous. So I just always tell everybody, "Oh, you crazy? I am not famous." First of all, and I'm not.
Oh,
But I was.
I don't think we are. I don't consider us famous. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, I don't either. Like, but everybody else does.
I know, but I'm more like thinking if you have a million, million five, 2 million, then you're starting to scratch, which you're almost there. You're almost there. I'm gonna call you almost famous.
Oh, I like that. That's cute. Girl, I won't even be fat. I don't know if I'll ever hit a million. Like, I
Oh
see that
yeah,
taking years and years to do. And everybody's like, oh, no, I
no.
think you'll be there by the end of the year.
Oh, no,
I
I don't know
don't
about the
know.
end of the year. I don't know about the
I
end of
don't
the year.
either. Because it's the struggle when you get that high. Like one of my
Mhm.
favorite TikTokers, Nurse Missy. I love her so much. And we have been following each other pretty much since the beginning of TikTok after the pandemic hit. And she is so close. I will see her go from 991.5 to 991. And this is a woman who has like one of the purest hearts and is so sweet that she should be over a million by now. Like, and she just good at what she does. and she's blunt, she's to the point, and she's very helpful. And I'm shocked that she's not at like at least over 1 million or at 2 million, as where I've
Mm-hmm.
seen other people, and I'm like, you just got on TikTok a month ago, and you verified,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like how?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of work, and that's what I think people don't realize is it is a lot of work. Like thinking, what am
It
I going to
is.
post today, and what am I going to come up with today, and what am I going to say today? And there's days
Hmm.
that you don't feel like that happy, bubbly, person that people have come to know and love.
Yeah, but you got to put
And
it
it's
on
hard,
because you don't want to miss a day and
right?
let somebody down.
Okay, now let me ask you another question. We kind of a tell all, like we're open books. Do you
Yes,
have
we
any
are.
do you have any aspect of your life that you're like, I won't go there?
Um, I don't. The only thing like I don't really go into is like I'm not gonna air my deep family stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
if I got a problem going in my home, and not that I do, but I'm not gonna take my marital problems or any problems if I have with my child or my family to social media,
right,
or even with my friends.
right.
And I do see a lot of people do that. And if that's their way of coping and their way of dealing with it, more to them. But I keep my personal things like that away from social media because
Right.
I'm more comic anyway. Me and you are me and you are both comic, but you are comic and inspirational on your channel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, I'm pretty much just straight up comical and prank and storytelling. And I don't know, and that's the same way with Facebook. You see people who got stuff going on, and they're like, "I'm in a relationship, but it's complicated," or, I was dating this guy or this girl, and they ended up being a piece of shit, and then they're going back and forth on Facebook for the entire
Mhm.
world to see.
Mhm.
And so I keep that away from my channel because it's my personal business, and nobody
Mhm.
else needs to know about it.
Mhm. I feel
How do
like
you feel?
well, that's what I say. I feel like just because you're a social media influencer and you put 90% of your life out there on social
Yeah,
media, I still think if you want this 10% over here reserved, this 10% you don't want to talk about, you don't want nobody to know about, I think you have that right for that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
One of the things which I was going to tell you this too, and maybe this is an announcement for all of y'all, but TikTok just started you remember you used to have to sub and you'd have sub lives. So in other words, you could go
Yeah.
on lives and have subs only. Well, now they're going to have sub only content. And I'm wanting to open up and talk about.
Wow.
I'm gonna open up and start talking about my trauma based stuff with SA and DV. You know SA and DV, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Some people don't, and if you don't, y'all Google what SA and DV mean. Um, and I'm also wanting to talk about the estrangement. Both ways, being abandonment and estrangement. I'm wanting to
Yes.
talk about those traumas on my sub content, and I'm wanting to charge. My price is kind of high, but the reason I'm doing this is because I got to make sure the enemy camp don't want to come in there and stir up trouble.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I can't
So,
wait to that. That's gonna be something to we'll have to
mm-hmm,
talk about, and you fill me in more because I didn't know they were gonna start doing that. And
mm-hmm.
so does that mean like how I do like story time at work and stuff? So if I wanted to go into like a more elaborate or talk about like certain things or something, does that mean that you don't get reported because it's your subs only and they're paying to hear it? Like you can go more, or is it just more?
I don't know. I don't know if your content would still be subject to the same I'm sure you'd still have the same policies. You'd still have to be careful what content you put out there, but you could have sub only stories. Now I'm going to charge $19.95 a month for mine.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
good.
I'm gonna start at that price. But you with story times, you might want to start around $9.99 or something like that. You know what I'm
And when does
saying?
this take place?
It's happening now.
Dang.
Hmm.
Oh, wait, is that the thing me and you were talking about? a couple of weeks ago or about a month ago when I was telling you about the girl who did makeup tutorials and you could
Yes.
pay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yep.
I know what you're talking about now. I thought it was something else different. So
No.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
that really is a good idea. And I think for you, and y'all, I say this because, me and I started to say Bridget, me and Bridget, me and
A
my
midget.
bitch have been best friends, going on 2 years. I wouldn't trade her for the world. Best thing to happen to me that has come from TikTok. I tell her that
Oh.
all the time. And the things that I have gotten to learn about her and know about her, it is heartbreaking, but to see the person that she has become from it,
Mm-hmm.
she really needs to tell her story because
Yeah.
there's so many people that can benefit from it because, and I'm not going to go into detail because y'all have seen previous podcasts and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
it is a series that you want to subscribe to because the things that she's been through, you only get like Sally Jane went through this, Teresa went through that, Bobby Ann went through that. When she's went through multiple things that don't usually happen to
Mm-hmm.
a person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a heartbreaking story, but it's also heartwarming when you
Mm-hmm.
hear what's happened to see how she has overcame it and became the woman, immaculate woman that she is today. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? So
Well, thank you.
the 10 out of 10 for that when you start it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That you asked me, is there parts of my life I don't want to be told? It's not that I don't want to talk about abandonment, SA, DV, or estrangement. I've been through them all. I've,
Right.
I'm living through them all. But my thing is, I can't. I have to do it out of protection of myself. Because when you
You
talk
do.
about these, but I have spoke with a lawyer, I've spoke with an attorney, and just like Risa Tisa come out and told her story, Legion was like, I'm gonna sue her. He has no grounds for it because as long as she's telling the truth, he
Uh
has no
huh.
he she's allowed to tell her truth.
Yep.
Even if it makes you look bad, okay? She's allowed to tell her truth. I'm allowed to tell my truth. But I'm also a person that oftentimes in telling my truth, I give my opinion and I got to be careful with that, but I feel like if I do a sub live, you know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe that would help weed out some of the enemy camp.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Because if
Hands
you're going to
down.
pay me $20 a month to hear my stories, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to pay me $20 a month to hear my
Right.
stories, let's see. And then I wonder, if you go to court, and you're like, well, it was a private live or it was a private post, you know,
Uh,
then how much grounds you got, how much water you got to, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I know I keep rubbing my eyes. And I meant to tell you too, Bridget, before we started the podcast, I put on some mascara. And it's a mascara I wear all the time. And I think because the pollen is already starting to
Mm-hmm.
fall, my eyes have been crazy today, watering, itching. It's been horrible. We got in the car to go to get groceries, pollen on the windows.
Yep, it's
Like,
already started.
I'm not ready.
No.
Now, I got a question, Bridget. So I know you work from home and stuff like that and everything, but do you feel like for work, do you feel like social media has impacted you there or affected you? Like, have you ever been on the phone with somebody and they're like, "Oh my God, you sound like this girl from TikTok"? Are
No.
you really?
Mm-mm.
Because you have a very, very distinct voice, a very
Yeah,
distinct
no,
voice.
never had that. And even if they did, I would never link the two.
You
I'd
would
be
just be
like,
like, "Oh
really?
no,
I'd be like, really? I do? Oh, well, no, I'm not.
oh my God!" So you would, because you wouldn't want them to know because it's
Uh-uh.
business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I
blame you
don't,
there.
I don't cross those paths at all. Mm-mm.
Really? I was
Mm-mm.
curious about that because, like I said, I know you work from home, but you deal with massive amounts of phone calls every single day, 24
Yeah.
7. I thought
Yeah.
there's bound to be somebody to recognize her voice.
Mm-mm. They ain't, thank
What?
God. Uh-uh.
I'm
Uh-uh.
shocked with that. I wasn't expecting you to say no. I was expecting you to
Mm-mm.
say, well, yeah, there's been a couple of times, da 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 da. So I'm shocked on that one.
Mm-mm. So has anybody ever been out in public and brought up something to you that you posted that you forgot about and was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe I saw that. Like somebody you know?
Um, No, not, oh my God, I can't believe they saw that. Just, well, not that I forgot about it, but the fact that who the person is, I'm like, oh God, you actually follow me on TikTok and saw that.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought that, but not being like, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that or shouldn't. But it
Yeah.
would shock me when I find out certain people, are like, girl, I follow you on TikTok. And I'm like, you follow me on? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, when I first started TikTok, I didn't want any of my family and friends to follow me. I say, don't do that. Don't do that.
But they low key looking. They
Yeah.
low key looking.
Oh,
Because
they
you can't
do.
help it. You can't help it.
Yeah. So then the other question is, I think I wanted to ask was, do you ever, like, in other words, when people are telling you, like, you go out to eat and they're telling you a story, or do you have your friends and family be like, oh, Holly, the famous TikToker, did they do,
Yes.
and how does that make you feel?
It, I, d- I don't know because I've never really thought about it until you said something, but I do get that, and I'm like, oh, please, just hush. I'm not famous, and they're like, yes, you are, and I'm like, no, no, I'm not, but I do get that. I'm like, there's Miss Famous TikTok right there, and I'm like, hush, no, I'm like, just
But
don't
that's what I'm
say
saying.
it.
Like, that's what I'm saying. How does it make you feel? Is it something you're like, oh yeah, da da da? Or you like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut
Just
the
shut the
fuck
fuck
up.
up.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, because I'm like, why are you saying that? And
Yeah.
it's weird because even if I was verified on TikTok and
Yeah.
had 3 million followers, I still wouldn't see myself as famous. Famous for me is somebody who was on television.
Yeah.
And if you are in social media, you are all over the news, you're guest
Hmm.
appearing on shows. I don't feel like if you're verified and on TikTok and that's all you do that
Yeah.
you're famous. But then again, I mean that is a type of, I guess, being famous because you're on a social media verified. But I guess I don't look at it like that. I just look at it as in, you know, oh, okay, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TV where you're
Right.
making, big money.
Right. Well, see, when I'm with my family and friends, and we're just being family and friends, I just want to be me. I don't want to be TikTok Bridget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to be me with y'all. And so when they start that, like, you get in public, or they'll be like, I've had my friends go, she's on TikTok. She's famous on TikTok. And I'm like,
Oh my
oh,
God, I hate
stop.
that. I
Shut
get
the
that too.
fuck up. Yeah. I'm like, just stop. Just fucking stop. Like, I don't want that to become my identity, in other words.
That you're
I'm
just known
Bridget.
as TikTok
I'm
Bridget.
Bridget. Yeah, I'm Bridget. I'm Bridget with my friends. I'm Bridget on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Uh
Bridget.
huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And I don't want to be known as she's famous. Hey, follow her. I'm
yeah.
shut the fuck up.
I was at work. This was a couple of weeks ago. I went in there to go see Heather, and she had a customer come in or something, and he was an annoying customer first of all, and he was just getting on our nerves, and he was asking, what's this and what's that, and he was like, I know y'all got a lot of stories. He was like, y'all tell me one, and we're sitting there looking at each other, and she goes, are you on TikTok? You need to follow her. And she's like, she's famous. She does story times about our store on there. You need. I looked at Heather like I could have, like, my eyes are burning through her soul, and she did it on purpose to be funny and stuff. And it was just so funny because we laughed after they left the store. And she's like, "Do you like how I did that?" I was like, "Yeah, I could have killed you for doing that." She's like, "I know," but
Yeah,
there's
mine
not many
does.
people that do not come into my shop. That is like literally Wednesday when I work. This guy and girl come in, and I can always tell by the way they smile when they
Hmm.
come in. It's like this.
Hmm.
They do that little bit shy, or like, bitch, I know you. And they came in, and I was asking if they needed any help or da 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 da. And she was like, excuse me. She said, but I just gotta ask. She said, I just gotta say. She said, I absolutely love you. She said, I've been following
Hmm.
you on TikTok since day one. She said, you are absolutely hilarious. And
Hmm.
I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. And da 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 da. And it's literally like, if not every day, every other day I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, every day, every other day. And then I get the calls.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you another question. It left my mind. Damn it. It left my mind.
Yeah, just that old timers we keep talking about for the both of us.
You've been getting that real bad here lately,
That's
girlfriend.
why I said for the both of us, because JoJo said something today, and I'm like, I'm about to be 45. I was like, what?
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember what it was. Let me say it while it's on my mind. Do you find that being on social media, we both, because we want it to be our full-time job. We want to just be able to quit
Yeah,
our jobs
hands
and focus on
down.
it full time. But do you find that strangers support you more than your own friends and family?
No, because I will say that my family and my friends are really like supportive. I mean, they're always coming up with ideas and like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. And I'm so
Okay,
proud
now
of you.
I'm
And
not talking about that. I'm talking about liking and commenting on your stuff. Does JoJo and Jason like and comment on every video you post?
I mean, not every single one, but for the most part, Jason does. He's not on TikTok that much. Um, Wifey, when she's on TikTok, she'll comment. I mean, they don't do every single one,
Yeah.
but Tammy, Heather, which I said wifey, JoJo, Jason, um, I honestly say, like, out of my family, those are the four that are consistent, consistent with commenting and liking.
Now you ready for this? And my
Uh
family's gonna be so upset when I say hardly any of my family does.
huh. Oh,
Mm-mm.
even
Now,
Sissy?
now
Well, Mr.
Ronnie,
Ronnie?
Ronnie does. He'll like some of them. He rarely comments. Okay. Sissy, she'll say once in a blue moon, I saw a TikTok you put up, but I don't ever, when I'm going through my likes, I don't ever really see her like anything. My
Uh,
son Brandon doesn't. He doesn't like anything. He doesn't comment on anything. The one person out of my entire family that supports me the most when it comes to liking, commenting, and engaging on my social media to support me?
everybody out of your family, let me think.
Go ahead, think on it.
Um, Shelly?
Nope.
Um, me? Because I do like a comment. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because I forgot to say you too, because you comment and like my stuff too. I'm trying to think for your actual family. Who? Let's see. Would it be Kyle?
Nope.
No. Wait a minute. Oh my God. The guy with the boat, Dylan.
No, no.
Oh no, not Dylan. I
But
don't
Dylan
know.
does. He comes into my lives a lot. And Sissy will come into my lives, and she wants to go live with me, but she
Uh,
don't comment and like my stuff that much.
I don't know who then. And I'm gonna be
My
so mad when you tell me, because I'm gonna be like, dang it.
You probably won't. It's my daughter-in-law. My bonus son's wife.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Cece number two, Brittany number
Yeah,
two.
she's my biggest supporter in my family.
Oh, is
Mm-hmm.
she? That's so
Yep.
awesome. And
Yeah.
I'll get like my niece Courtney, and it was so fun. I can't remember what video I had did, and it wasn't nothing like super duper, but it literally made me cry because I saw her put a like on it, and it made me feel good. And I texted her. She was like, "Why are
Oh,
you crying?" And I was like, "Cause it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it just alerted me that you put a like on my video." And
yeah.
once in a blue moon, she might would comment, but Courtney is more of a, she's gonna click and like, because I get so many likes I don't always see, and there's sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, they don't never put likes on my videos when they do, and I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah. Now Shelly will go in there. She don't
Sorry, my
watch them for a
back's
long
itching.
time. That's okay. She don't
Uh,
watch them for a long time, and she'll go in there and binge watch them, and I'll see a bunch of likes from her at one time. But she rarely comments on. She rarely comments on TikTok. She will comment on Facebook. That's weird.
really, because that's probably, is she on Facebook more?
Yeah.
That's probably why
Yeah.
that's her platform, that she's like, okay, I'm gonna be on this all the time.
Yeah.
Occasionally check TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
is
anyhow,
crazy
y'all.
though
Yeah, it
how
is.
just it affects you in so many different ways, and so just different parts of your life. Like it's your life is all of your life is affected by it, but it's so weird to see it broken down from work to family to
Yeah,
friends to being out there in the public.
in the public. That's right. But
Yeah.
y'all, we're gonna go ahead and run. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. If y'all have any questions for us about what it's like to be a social media influencer, or if you could think of anything that you might want to ask us, otherwise you can. Y'all, we're trying to start 3 podcasts.
Here we go again. Fuck a
It's
soundboard. I got us.
Ask Bridget and Holly, settle the argument and confessions. If y'all have any of those that you'd like to send us, send it to Bridget and Holly at gmail.com. And if you don't, fuck it. We'll just keep asking anyway. Okay.
Right?
But
Oh, God.
make sure you
Oh,
like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell here on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to us on any of your favorite podcast channels. And what the hell you got to say now, bitch?
um, actually, how about Jason took all the trash out in his man cave, in the bathroom, and in the kitchen today?
He's tired of hearing your shit.
I think so. It just hit me. I was like, oh, I forgot to tell her some good news today. So that happened.
There you go. Okay, y'all. Well, we'll talk to you and see you on the next podcast.
Have a good night,
Bye.
y'all. Bye.